Say hello. Hi there, I'm Dana Trent. If you haven't already subscribed, please click subscribe and the notification bell below. This is the video version of my newsletter, which is called Dana Drops. Feel free to subscribe to the newsletter down in the comments section below. A quote from Brené Brown. Vulnerability is not winning or losing. It's having the courage to show up and be seen when we have no control over the outcome. Vulnerability is not weakness. It is our greatest measure of courage. Again, that's from Brené Brown. This year, I signed my 6th book contract. The book is my debut memoir called VERMILLION, which will be published in February 2024. The book's manuscript is due this December, and VERMILLION is my first memoir, and it's a doozy. So this means that I am back to my very early morning routine of getting up at 5 a.m., drinking 2 cups of coffee, journaling, meditating, and mustering up as much courage and energy as I possibly can to write and edit before sunrise. It also means lots of up and down weeks of the manuscript is going well, the manuscript is going terribly, and not much in between. That is the writer's plight. VERMILLION is the book that I have always wanted to write. And I'm writing it with a publisher that I've always wanted to write for. Penguin Random House's imprint, Convergent, Kitty below. But writing about home, a literal carnival of a childhood with my father, King, who raised me in an unconventional way on the road, helping him traffic drugs and doing drug drops. This is a hard story to write about. And the deeper meaning of this story is about a daughter with 2 identities, a Hoosier tough runt raised in Indiana to inherit my father's kingdom, and my mother's polite Southern Carolina lady. And how do I reconcile and integrate those 2 identities? And how do I go home? And what does home mean? These are all the things that are turning up for me right now. And it's got me feeling mushy and reflective. It's got me feeling very vulnerable. It's got me feeling like I should hide. But I can't hide. I shouldn't hide. And neither should you. Hiding who we are isn't helping ourselves or anyone else. So how do we get the courage to come out of hiding? How do we get the courage to show up when we feel like turtling in? How do we let our slip show? Here's what I mean by that. My mother was born just prior to World War II in a Southern family, the youngest of 5 children. They lived in a rural area of North Carolina, and this was an area full of industrious farmers, entrepreneurs, homemakers, and loads of Christians who went to church every single Sunday. And she came from a long line of polite Southern women who always counseled their daughters. Kitty, you mustn't let your slip show, my dear. You mustn't let your slip show. And by that, the women meant that every Sunday there was a check that happened outside of church. And my mother did this with me as well. Echoing the words of their elders, there was always a pause outside the sanctuary doors of the First Baptist Church where mothers and daughters would tug and pull on each other's wardrobe to ensure that their slips, their undergarments, weren't showing. And even at age 12, I realized that not revealing your undergarments was a metaphor for life. It was proper to hide what was on the inside. The girdle, the petticoat, the slip, whatever it was that was creating an illusion of a smooth outside, perfect outside. We are a culture that thrives on smooth outsides. We are a culture that thrives on perfection. From our bodies to our social media feeds to our work projects and our children and our creative endeavors, we thrive on perfection. Everything should look nice on the outside. And when that doesn't happen, we turtle in. We numb our way through with coping with impossible standards. but our figurative undergarments must be bared. They are the vulnerable first drafts of us, the real us. And it's the us people need to see. It's the us people deserve to see. It's the authentic us. So how do we get the courage to show up, to let our slips show, to be the real us? We remember that everyone else is scared too. We remember that letting our own slip show gives someone else permission to do the same. So friends, I invite you in this moment to consider what you can do today to let your slip show. Consider how you will show the vulnerable, real you today, whether it's in person with friends, in the line at the store with a stranger, or whether it's right here on social media. Friends, I also hope that you will keep me lifted in your prayers, your good energy in the next several months. One thing that you can do for me is just send me some encouragement. You can comment below. You can follow this journey right here. I'll be right here updating you because that's my commitment to letting my own slip show. I'm Dana Trent. Thank you so much for watching.